So what's next? What's going to happen next week? Well, first, senators are going to vote on Tuesday on the resolution we've been discussing this week almost every night. And that resolution will govern the rules of the Senate trial. So set out the length of questioning, rebuttal, and so forth. And now at that point, senators will be able to vote on whether individual witnesses will be called. There'll be a debate that happens. And that's when things get very dicey. So if Democrats get their way, well, they'll do everything in their power to exploit these witness votes.
The precedent in impeachment trials in the Senate is to have witnesses. To have no witnesses would be a dramatic break with precedent. It would mean the first impeachment trial of a president in history with no witnesses. The first impeachment trial of anybody that went to completion in the Senate's 200 and some odd year history without witnesses.
Joining me now is Matt Whitaker, former acting attorney general. All right, how easily could calling witnesses devolve into a political circus next week?
That's exactly what Mitch McConnell's trying to avoid. But as you mentioned, it takes 51 votes to do about anything. We know the outcome of the trial. We just don't know how we're going to get there right now. And so as I look at what the Senate is trying to accomplish, it is trying to keep a solid group of Republican senators together that keeps this train on the tracks. If they can't, then we could have Hunter Biden. We could have a whole host of folks be witnesses. And that's when I think the credibility of the Senate could take a serious hit.
But there's no understanding at this moment how that debate about witnesses will ensue and unfold. So we don't know if it'll be you get two, we get two. Doesn't know. We don't 1 and 1. Witnesses, period, yes, thumbs up. There's no sense. And so there's concern that just the debate, Matt, on that fact could just throw the whole thing into I mean, more like the House than the Senate. In other words, a lot of chaos. Or are we inflating what might?
I think there's a lot of excitement, especially from the media that's going to cover this. They want fireworks. They want folks arguing. They want a lot of witnesses and a lot of controversy. Mitch McConnell doesn't want that. A lot of the senators on both sides, quite frankly, don't want that. They don't. They have a constituency back home that they need to be impressive to and to get reelected. But fundamentally, the Democrats from the House have the burden of persuasion. And if they can't prove their case in their initial 24 or so hours that they get, I don't expect that there's going to be an appetite for most senators to go further with documents or witnesses.
Well, the Clinton impeachment resolution included a provision for a motion to dismiss before the witness vote took place. Now, it ultimately failed, but it was an important point. I mean, it's a really weird thing. Like, if they think it's absolutely going to be defeated, so what? Just put it in anyway.
The Clinton impeachment precedent is probably what we should follow because it was during a saner time where actually the Senate didn't have these partisan inflammations like we have currently in our country.
I like that phrase, partisan inflammations. It sounds like you need a really strong
There's a drug for that.
Yeah, there's something for that. All right, New York Times' Michael SHEAR had this to say about the president's defense thus far.
We have still never seen what the president's legal defense of all of this is. We have seen his political defense, right? We have seen letters from Pat Cipollone, the White House counsel, which are largely political arguments, and we've seen the House members, the Jim Jordans of the world, making largely political responses. We've never yet seen an actual legal defense.
Well, I don't know what Michael's been watching, but I mean, there's been repeatedly noted that there's no underlying crime. So what do you really have to argue here? There's an exculpatory transcript that is no way rises to the level of impeachable conduct. So I don't know what he's talking about, but there's politics too.
This is the first time that a president's been impeached where there's no underlying crime and on a purely partisan vote. So we don't have any elements of those crimes with which we can compare the facts that were, sort of developed in the House. And this is why this is a very troubling time in American history. If you take a step back and understand we've entered a new era of partisan impeachments, which is not good for our republic. And so I hope that the senators understand that and that they can not turn this into a partisan circus, which is what we saw in the House.
Were you surprised that Pelosi started saying things like, you're impeached forever? This was like Mean Girls. Like, you're impeached forever. Like, you're charged forever, but you were ultimately acquitted. It doesn't even matter if you were charged.
Yeah, I'm surprised her rhetoric, how hot it has been. She called the Attorney General rogue again, suggested that he was a puppet of the president. That has no place. That has no place from the Speaker of the House, and it's really a shame that she does that.
Yeah, it may plays well at the university cafeteria, perhaps, or the faculty room. But
and to coastal elites.
Yeah, coastal elites. Matt, great to see you, as
you.
always. I'm sure we'll see you next week.